Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel, or welcome here for the first time if you haven't been here before. And come closer, come. I have a secret to tell you. I think the 2016 makeup is coming back. Don't shoot the messenger. Listen, don't shoot me. I'm just reporting on what I'm seeing. This is not my fault, but I've seen quite a few things as of late that is making me think that we might be heading back into 2016, but maybe with a few revisions. Some changes for the future. So I am gonna try and do some 2016 makeup techniques, stuff that I used to do, but try and make it modern. And we can talk a little bit about what the trends used to be, what they are now, and how I think that this renaissance of 2016 makeup is gonna look. And if you like the video, don't forget to subscribe before you leave, because I do upload quite a lot of videos all about makeup, all about beauty, usually a little bit more on the dramatic side, which is probably what we're gonna do today, but let's dive in. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is actually to apply a very 2016 primer, and this is the Farsali Skin Tune. I got sent this as PR because Farsali was like the primer brand, and everybody was talking about Farsali. Remember when you use, mine is a little bit broken, which is not ideal, and I will say that mine is a little bit broken, so I wish that this package, okay, let me rephrase this. This was the primer of 2016, but for me, the thing I like the least about this primer is the packaging. This primer is actually an amazing, hydrating, smoothing primer that really is a great primer before makeup. The packaging I hate, and I don't know, if you have TikTok, you should really go into the owner of Farsali's TikTok and look at him describing what he thought that they did wrong with Farsali, because they closed and then they did a comeback. And I 100% agree with him that the one main thing that they did wrong with Farsali is that they spent so much time hyping about the drip dropping of the packaging and not enough time explaining that this is actually a good product, because this is actually a good product. And yeah, if there's ever been anything that's 2016 makeup, that is that. I'm actually going to be using, because I have seen it. Listen, I've seen it, you've seen it, we've all seen it, it's everywhere. The contour all over the face, it's dots, it's stripes in the shapes of little ice creams, I don't know, but the full face contour, it's having a comeback. It's having a comeback, and I actually got this as PR. This is from Makeup Forever, and this is the HD Skin Palette. Definitely 100,000,000% not something, packaging is stunning, that I would have bought with my own money. I'm super excited though to have it, and I will say immediately as I opened it, I was like, when I was working as a freelancing makeup artist, I would love this. It comes in two different colorways. This is the light to, I think, medium one, and then there is a tan to deep one as well. And we are going to use this, and we're going to do a full face of contour, and we are going to blend it out with a sponge. I even brought out a new sponge for this occasion, and just do the most 2016 look ever. I don't know if I've ever talked about me doing freelance makeup artist things here on my channel. I wasn't working full-time as a makeup artist. It's just something that I did on the side. I'll see if I can pop up a picture or two of stuff that I have done on others, but I stopped doing makeup on others because honestly, everybody wants to look like Kim Kardashian. They did then and they do now, and it's not my journey. But I'm actually going to be using, because I got the Sonia G something fusion set. I got that in my lucky bag from Beautylish, which I did pay for myself. I'm super excited. So I thought we'd be using these at least a little bit. Look at how nice these look. Look at, oh my god. These are natural hair bristle brushes. I like those, but lately I have been really into synthetic ones because they're so easy to keep clean, and they really do wear nice for a long time, and they also don't cost as much. This is the soft concealer. I think I'm gonna use this one to just paint all of this on. Let me see if I can just zoom in a little bit, like this maybe. Oh, and I'm also having a monster. Have you seen anything more 2016 than this? And I will say, one of the things that I think that people, I'm just seeing what color is mine, what I think people are doing better now than we did back in 2016, that's actually a really good color for me, is that instead of doing a full face of full coverage foundation and then just full contour on top of that. Instead of that, people are doing, you know, the contour and everything in like one layer. So I am gonna do where I want foundation, and then we are gonna do, I'm gonna save under here because I actually have a concealer that I want to use. And instead of doing several layers of makeup, we are just gonna do one. And I honestly think that that is the smartest thing that they have ever done. I don't like contouring my nose, so we're not gonna do that. But something like this, and then I think we're gonna do a mix of these two. So I'm gonna do a little bit of both of those, and I don't care about having like clean brushes and stuff because I do not do makeup on anyone else but me right now. Like I said, it's not my journey. This just feels very 2016, the whole like painting on the cream contour and then blending out your face. I'm kind of living for it though. I never put my contour down here. I know like in 2016 the contour was supposed to go up like this. It just ages me. It doesn't work on my face shape. So I'm still mixing those two shades and I'm bringing it up a little bit here to be a little tan. Ooh! Around my temples. And I never highlight this part because I feel like it makes my face look very square and I don't need that in my life. Okay, something like this. And then I'm going back to that lighter shade. Should I do the blush as well? Because we do have some options. Maybe I can do like a bigger brush for that. This is the mini base. I think that this might be a good shade match for me. I think I'm gonna do the one that's like a little bit more on the corally side. And we're just gonna put that here because this is where I would put my blush. And then we're doing the most 2016 ever, but this is a good idea. I still use this trick and I still do this, and that is before blending something out, spraying your sponge with Fix Plus. So let's start and bounce this in. I really do enjoy that people are doing more of a in one layer instead of like 3-4 different layers, because I do think that this makes so much more sense than the techniques that we had back then, because it became super cakey. But if you have TikTok or if you watch like short form content, this kind of a full face of contour, it's having quite the comeback. And when I started seeing stuff like this, I'm like, wait, are we back? Are we like back in 2016? I'm not mad about it. I will say, if you watch my new makeup releases, you know that last week, oh wait, let me put my ring back on. Last week we talked about that the L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation is coming back and it's reformulated. And if that is not the throwback of a lifetime, I don't know what is. Look at how beautiful that is. The way that I would have loved this back when I was working as a makeup artist, it would have been amazing. But just doing it in one layer, it makes so much more sense and just looks so much more fresh and just natural and non-cakey. And also like Makeup Forever makes amazing products. I'm not super surprised about that. But yeah, big fan. This looks great. This looks great. I think I might be traveling with this one. It's great to travel with. And I actually bought this one. I made an order from Tarte and I bought the Shape Tape. I know. Who remembers how hyped this was? This is just me buying this one to try it again. I bought like just a mini one, and this is in light medium sand. And I just bought this one because I used to really not love this one. Everybody else was loving this one and I used to not love it. And I think that one of the reasons why I didn't love it is because I probably used too much, because we all like looked at the beauty gurus at that time. And again, just as with the contour, we just used too much. So I think if I just use a little like this and blend this out, we're gonna see if I like this better. Maybe I won't, but I have like high expectations. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe this is a mistake. It does look a lot better when you use a lot less. Of course, it isn't that like cement full coverage then either, but it also like isn't cement, like actual cement under your eyes. And I do think that some of these concealers and some of these foundations that we used to use that were like very cakey back in 2016, 2017, I really think that they could be brought back and feel a little bit more modern if we use them with like modern techniques. Because I mean, that looks great. That looks really great. I'm not mad about that. I'm gonna use this one. Is contour making a comeback as well? Because I've seen a lot of contour products come out throughout this like last year. And just as like with just like contour with cream contour all over the face, I'm feeling that people are talking more about like contouring overall. Not that contouring was ever out, but I definitely feel like people are talking about it again. So I am going to be using one of these shades, just a little bit of this one in the middle. And for me, when I do contouring, I only do a little bit up here, just where my cheekbone is like the most prominent. I never take it down because I feel like it makes me look ghoulish because I do not have a cool undertone, and I just want this kind of an extra shadow to make my like cheekbone pop a little bit more up here. I don't want it all over. And this is also like me learning with time what kind of contour actually works on me. I never contour my forehead. I only bronze my forehead. I have a very small forehead. Why would I contour that? So I only contour a little bit here because that's the part that I would like to be just a little bit more sunken in. And I think that that looks really, really good. Let's talk about something else. Something else that I have discovered actually really works for my skin, but I have to do it in specific places, and that is baking with loose powder. I hear you, don't come for me. I prefer it with a loose powder and a puff. This one is from LH Cosmetics. It's really good for baking, and I take it on my puff and I use it here. Because this is where I get oily. This is where I get creasing. Here and here. Not under my eyes. Again, I'm 39. I do not need to bake my under eyes. But if you're like me and you have combo skin or if you have oily skin, baking a little bit where you get oily, it makes the world of difference. And also getting this area to be matte if you have more mature skin, it makes the world of difference as well. That's also something with time. I realized that yes, baking is definitely not for everyone. And it's definitely not for all areas of my face. But in this area, I actually really love it. A lot. Okay, so while I was waiting for the powder to be here, I did my brows. I mean, I don't do the 2016 brows, the super sculpted blocky brows, like the Instagram brows. I've never been carving out my brows. I personally don't like how that looks, but I definitely do a little bit more of a defined brow, but I think that my techniques are more in the... I feel like my techniques is probably a mix between the defined brow and the feathery brow because I like a mix of both of them. I think with brows it's so individual. I've never gotten either some people who like hate a certain kind of brow and they're like, I hate when people do this, and it's like, are they doing it on you? Because then I understand the hate, but like if they're doing it on themselves, like nobody's forcing you, like you get to do whatever you want. So I never really got that hate when people are like almost aggressive about other people's brows. It's like, okay. I didn't know that they were out here doing like forced makeovers of people's brows, but listen, what do I know? So I'm gonna brush this off now, the powder we put here. Let's get into the thing that literally made me go, oh, we're in that era of makeup right now. And that is the new highlighters by Rare Beauty. There is no one on the face of the earth that can convince me that this is not 2016, 2017 seen from outer space glow. This is the highlighters that we have back then, but now. And if you like this kind of glow, just go back and look at what kind of highlighters, I'm trying to find a brush, what kind of highlighters that was popular back then. And this is definitely that kind of a glow, like a super glowy, blinding, almost metallic, wet looking cheek. I like it, but I will say I'm a little bit surprised that the there but not there makeup gals, cold girl, clean girl, vanilla, like whatever's on trend right now, I'm surprised to see them liking this, because this is so far from that. This is 2016 Makeup Guru highlighter. I love it, but it's definitely not subtle, no makeup highlighter. This is bam. Like, I'm even using like a flimsy brush, and it like builds like nobody's business, and it just provides intense glow. And this, when I saw this one trending, when I saw this one getting all the hype that it quite honestly deserves, I was like, oh, we're getting back to the dramatic makeup, because this is dramatic. This is dramatic makeup, and there's no way to really make this non-dramatic. This isn't a glow from within highlighter, and I'm kind of excited to see this one like trending together with like people whispering about contour again, because I'm like, are we coming back into more like scene makeup? Are we coming back into more dramatic makeup? Listen, I'm not mad about that. I'm excited about that. And let's do a cut crease. I don't think cut creases are coming back. People are so into the, you know, one eyeshadow look, all these kinds of things. I can say a lot of things like, oh, is this coming back? Is that no, not really. But that doesn't mean that I don't still enjoy a super dramatic, warm eyeshadow look. I'm still about that life. That's still my journey. But am I seeing that come back? I don't know. I don't know about that, because I think people are really embracing the easy eyeshadow look right now. But maybe with the dramatic highlighter apparently being back, maybe dramatic eyeshadow can come back too. So let's give it a go, shall we? Okay, what encapsulates bright, dramatic, colorful 2016 makeup more than Juvia's Place? I don't think that this is from 2016. I'm pretty sure that this one is from, ooh, this says 24 months. Fairly sure I've had this longer than 24 months, but I've never used it. But we're gonna use it now. This is the Warrior 2. I actually started reviewing Juvia's Place in 2016. That's when they came out with the Masquerade palette, and I bought that one on pre-sale. So we are gonna do this Jamata. Do you remember? I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers, but do you remember when warm, smoky eyes was literally the only thing the only thing that you can find on YouTube? I will say, if there's anything that is better now compared to how it was then, is that it's more diverse. The different styles of makeup, even though there are definitely, just as it was in 2016, there are definitely people that say like, nobody wants to wear that, who wants to look like a clown, blah, 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 blah. We all know I'm one happy clown. I do feel like it was even more streamlined back then. There was this typical Instagram baddie style that you were just magically supposed to encompass and perfect if you were supposed to have any kind of success. Any kind of success online. And it was just kind of boring, to be honest. And I actually find it fascinating when I look at like older videos and how much views they have. If you ever have the time and you're bored online, go back to some of the really popular beauty gurus back in the day and look at how much views they had on the most basic of basic makeup tutorials. Like, they will have millions of views on a bronzer in your crease eyeshadow tutorial. And I don't blame them for that, but it was just such a different time. And I really do understand why some people are like, why doesn't anyone want to watch that anymore? But it's like, those videos have already been done. Those videos have already gotten millions of views. So now it's just a little bit more diverse. If you really want to do something that people are going to watch, you have to be a little bit different, because that's just not going to fly anymore. But it was just an interesting time when 10 people could put up the same orange fall smoky eye during the same week, and people are like, yes, yes, queen, give me more. And yeah, it's definitely not how I experience YouTube anymore, but I do reminiscence about like the good old days. Should we just do the orange then? Because like I was talking about orange. Bye. That was a brush, taking a dive to the floor. This is Sama. I'm just gonna blend a little bit on the edge. I never got tired of orange eyeshadow, but I can totally see why there are people out there that is like, I never want to see an orange eyeshadow again in my life. Because for a while there, everybody was going bananas for orange, and every eyeshadow palette had to have an orange matte, so that people would base their entire looks around that. It was a fascinating time, I gotta say. It's same as it had to have that light brown transition shade, because apparently, regardless of what kind of a look we were doing, we had to start with the beige. Who invented that? Who said that that was the way we were supposed to do it? I am confused. I'm gonna work with some eyeshadow primer on a flat brush, and let's see if we can cut the crease. This is definitely the easiest way to cut the crease. Just use something that has a high opacity so that you can just cover up. Maybe like that, and then you use your finger to blend the edge. I'm gonna use the Sass, which is a not white, but like almost white beige, and I'm just gonna set this with that. If there's something that I've really come to enjoy in the 2020s, it is an all matte look, and I think an all matte cut crease is just so sexy and sophisticated, and I absolutely love it. And there is a Shawata, which is this black, and we'll just deepen this up even more. I know that it's not super popular right now with the dramatic eye looks. I mean, on social media, on Instagram, yes, but amongst a lot of people on YouTube and on TikTok, that's not really what is popular right now. People are going for this like no makeup, but I was kind of hoping, now that I see that more full coverage foundations is coming back, and really glowy high intensity highlighters, and also the lip products that we're going to talk about in a bit. I was kind of thinking maybe eyeshadow is next. Can we just try a little bit and hope? I'm hoping. Let's all pray, shall we? So this is the eye look once it is done. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I think it is so stunning, and I love a look like this, and I love that it's all matte. Such a big fan. I'll use a little beige in my waterline too, which is something that I like. Usually I do a white because I love the drama, but since this like color here isn't white, it's more like a beige, I think that this could fit. I'm gonna do a little bit of mascara, and then I'm gonna do some lashes. I am definitely not doing 2016 lashes, those big like larva lashes. I don't need my lashes to look like they're about to turn into a butterfly. I am definitely into the lighter lash nowadays. I still like a lash, but I am so into half lashes. I don't even want anything here in the beginning. And I've always loved lashes way before I even like discovered doing makeup on others, way before I discovered the makeup community. I remember the first time I did lashes was when I was 18 and I was going to a New Year's party. This was 21 years ago, okay? 21 years ago, maybe 20 years ago if I was 18, because I remember that we were going, oh my god, this was 20 years ago. That's when I started doing false lashes. But the kind of lashes I have been enjoying have definitely changed. I just feel with trends sometimes, we are so fast to either stick so hard to our routines, and we're like, no, I'm not changing the way I'm doing my makeup. I hate trends. I don't want to try something new. Or we're the opposite. We throw everything that we used to like out the window and we're like, I hate this, I love this now, I'm never doing cut creases again, never doing full coverage again. And I just feel like sometimes we need to be a little kinder to ourselves and be like, so what do I like and what kind of result do I want? Like with baking, for example. Now that I'm baking around my nose, my makeup is staying on for so much longer. I get so much less creasing in the area where I usually did get a lot of creasing. But this isn't the area where I need to be careful about like fine lines. That's under my eyes. So I don't bake under my eyes. Sometimes we need to adapt trends. Every trend has something good and something bad with it. And I think that we need to analyze sometimes what fits in with our makeup style, what fits in with our makeup preferences, like how we would like to look, and also what is fun. Like if it's not fun, why are you doing it? It's supposed to be a little fun too, to just put some color on and just express ourselves through makeup. And I'm really happy to see that some of the trends and some of the products that are coming back to the market is products that we can see. And one of them that I want to talk about is lip products, because we have definitely seen an uptick in, because we were in this lip oil era. Oh my god, lip oils, lip oils, lip oils. It just was, your lips were supposed to look like you just licked them. No color, no nothing. And I like that too, but I also like a little bit of color and a little bit of definition. And I feel like we're moving into new trends when it comes to lip colors, and it's resembling 2016 a lot, and I'm not mad about it. Okay, so the lashes are on, and I think you can see this is where the lashes start, and like this part is my lashes, and then it's just like out here. I really like how that looks. I think it gives me the foxy eye without doing eyeliner, because I will say I kind of like having my inner corner brighter, and I'm not even... Do you remember 2016 when a thick eyeliner was everything? You needed that. You cannot complete a look without thick eyeliner. I'm kind of happy we're beyond that. Listen, friends, this is the Wet n Wild Mega Last Lock and Shine. See, this is more 2001. Maybe 2000... Wait, when did I move to Linköping? I'm thinking 2004, 2005. This is when these were really popular. I remember the ones from CoverGirl, but in Sweden they were Max Factor. They have similar formulas, not always the exact same things, not same packaging, not same names, but they're somewhat similar things. And I remember they were so popular, and I remember I tried it and I was like, this sucks. And I tried one of these from NYX, was it 2 years ago, and I really disliked it because this lip color that is like a liquid lipstick that stays on for forever, but it was so sticky that you had to reapply this gloss again and again and again. Otherwise, like, everything would stick. Your lips would stick together, like your hair, your pet, like anything. Dust flying around the room would just stick to your lips. But I will say that this kind of a makeup look really feels like the 2016 liquid lipstick with a gloss on top. Who remembers that? Like, people were doing a liquid lipstick, but instead of keeping it matte, they did a gloss on top. And I feel like this is the exact same. And I feel like these kind of a liquid lipstick that is like transfer proof, because these are transfer proof. Which color did I get, by the way? Lotus Petal. I feel like these transfer proof liquid lipsticks with the gloss, they have really boomed. TikTok has made them famous. The one from House Labs, the one from Urban Decay, the one from NYX. Like, they have really been incredibly popular. There is one from Maybelline as well. This is sticky too. Whew, and people love them. I don't, but here I am, trying another one. Because I will say, I do love a very intense, but still satiny or glossy lip. Oh! I'm having a lot of doubts about these. Why do people love these products? They're so heavy and thick on the lips, and I'm gonna leave this for 2 minutes and then we'll put the gloss over, but I don't foresee this being in my 2023 favorites. Oh my god, I can't even talk with these. 12-hour wear without the lip shine? How? This is super glue. Okay, so I've had this on for give or take 4 minutes and it looks pretty. It do have a little butthole effect, but that's very 2000. What is 2016 if not butthole lips? But look at this. So this is one of those where you have to wear it with the gloss. And this is the thing that I don't love about these products. There are like this like glossy but transfer proof, is that they are heavy and sometimes sticky, and it's like, is it worth it? Like, is it worth it, the feeling on the lips for how it looks? I would argue no. Also, this brush is like, this is like a nail polish brush from Claire's. I don't know how it ended up here. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on this product. Honestly, this is gonna be my honest thoughts. If you want this kind of a result or something that's like this, I would say cover your entire lips with a lip liner that dries down, which is most lip liners, and then use a gloss on top. That's what I would say, because this is not very comfortable and a little bit crusty. It's a little crusty. I mean, we can't deny that the end result is it's pretty flawless. The lips, I cannot stress enough, don't buy this product. This is not a good product. It is starting to flake. Like, I'm getting little flakes in my mouth. Don't buy this product. If you want something like this, I've heard people really like the one from Maybelline. I've heard that they like that one. I will link that down below. I thought that the one from Urban Decay, it worked like it was advertised, but I didn't like it because it was really heavy on the lips. But if you're looking for that kind of a product, maybe I would point you in any of those directions. Don't get this one. It's not comfortable and it is flaking, and I've only worn it for like, what, 6 minutes? But the foundation and like the eyeshadow and concealer, even now that I used very little of it, and the powder and everything is looking really flawless. And this is what happens for me when I start combining old techniques with new techniques and just merging them into something that really works for me and for my face, and also realizing that sometimes you have to switch up the techniques because of you and your face. Aging definitely has made me not be able to wear as much powder as I could before under my eyes. It definitely has made me not enjoy full coverage foundations because I feel like they just look too heavy on my skin. It definitely looked better on my skin when I was like in my 20s, if we're gonna be totally honest. But it doesn't mean that I sometimes don't enjoy a full coverage foundation. I just prefer something else. And I will say, this is the biggest one. This is the biggest one. When I bought this one and I heard people loving this and people agreeing that like, oh my god, this is the best highlighter ever, this is when I was like, oh, visible makeup is making a comeback. We are no longer just wanting the there but not there makeup. Visible makeup is making a comeback. People whispering about contour. People loving a blinding highlight. People going in with actual lip colors and loving them. I'm like, new fun times ahead. I'm all about that life. And with that being said, everything goes in cycles. What is old is new again. Everything comes back. And I think it is time for visible makeup to have a comeback. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And also let me know, is there something that you used to do before that you still do? Or is there something that you used to do before, but then you switched up the techniques and mixed it with a modern technique and now it works for you still, or even works for you better? Love to hear about it down in the comments. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again soon in a new video. Ooh, I think that this is going up the week that I am on vacation, so if I'm not answering comments, that is why. And also this week there will not be a new makeup releases on Friday because I usually film those the day before, and like I said, I am off on vacation. So if you're missing that video on Friday, just know it's coming back next Friday again because I am off enjoying myself with my friends, hopefully on a cruise ship, having the best time ever. So I will see you soon again in a new video. Bye!